I want to make sure we're not confused here, because a few weeks ago I did a video talking about the battery drain on the S22 Ultra and how that was an absolutely valid and real concern on this device that I and a lot of other people are fighting with. I understand some people are getting excellent battery life and they have no concerns with it, but a lot of us are struggling with battery life on the S22 Ultra. But the concerning bit became that there was a lot of comments out there talking about how, oh, Samsung and it's trash and the phone is this and they should be doing this and I can't believe this and all the rest of it, and really hating on the S22 Ultra. And I want to clear the air here and make sure that everybody understands, despite the videos criticizing battery life of the S22 Ultra, this is still the Android phone in the flagship department that you want in your pocket. In 2022, this is still the apex predator of Android devices in terms of performance, in terms of, I think, the OS support, in terms of how everything runs, even with camera and the versatility of the cameras, especially with the periscope zoom, laser autofocus, all the things, the display, which is absolutely bright and gorgeous, everything that Samsung, the build quality, everything that Samsung gives you, that's usually above and beyond, and they charge for it, okay? So it's not like they're doing you any favors. They charge you for it. But everything that Samsung usually does that's above and beyond with a device, they did with the S22 Ultra. And despite its flaws, and a lot of devices are going to have flaws, I get it, but that doesn't mean they get a pass. Despite its flaws, this is the phone that I always go back to. It's the phone that I always want to put my SIM in. It's the phone that when I have to do something, I'm going somewhere, this is the Android that's in my pocket. And I believe if you use it for a lot of other people, that's going to be the case as well. Just the way that they handle the display, the always-on display, the little bits and the extra functions that you get with One UI 4.1, how bright the display gets, the 120 hertz, the performance of the Snapdragon Gen 8 Mark 1, which I understand is a battery hog and does have some heat problems at times, but their performance is undeniable when it comes to the S22 Ultra. Everything runs well, no lag, updated fairly quickly. They're back on track. They had a couple issues there when the phone first released, but now I'm getting the regular updates. This is running the May security patch, so we're back on track with Samsung trying to rival Google as far as getting Android patches out first, or at least on time on a monthly basis. It wasn't that long ago. We talk about Samsung all the time, and everybody was giving Samsung a headache for being a little bit late. I think it was with the March update for this particular device, but they wanted to package it with One UI 4.1. But it wasn't that long ago that we were on the quarterly update cycle when it came to Samsung devices. So the fact that they've moved to monthly, they have extended support, and they are providing a device like this is nice. Like I said, they charge max money. So we're supposed to get max performance and max everything. And this battery life should absolutely be better, because it's horribly frustrating that a device that you want to use a heck of a lot more, you don't get to because you feel like you're limited, at least with the battery drain. Some people aren't having those issues, and you can always do things to mitigate the battery drain when it comes to running at 60 hertz or running a little dimmer on the display. Things that I don't want to do, but you can do if you need more battery life at it. But I just saw a pile-on, kind of a dog pile, when it came to everybody getting on Samsung, everyone saying the S22 Ultra isn't worth the money or it's trash. And I absolutely want to tell you, whether it's a long-term review, it's a 3-month review, or it's a checkup on this device, despite us giving valid criticism to Samsung for this device and the battery life that they have on it and the power drain they have with the Snapdragon series that they use, despite all that, this is absolutely, right now, in 2022, the flagship Android that you want in your pocket for most of your daily tasks. Absolutely. And I hate when I see people really going off on it and taking that one problem that we have with the phone and running with it, when this is something that is way better than the experience I think you're going to get almost across the board. You want to say the Pixel Pro is a competitor? Sure. But I think those software issues that they've had, fingerprints, you want to go back and forth and say, oh, fingerprints is not that big. Okay, whatever. The software issues that they've had on launch with that device puts it in second place to me in comparison with this device. And for the second year in a row, the S21 Ultra was the same boat. This is the Android, top dog Android. Just in terms of the overall usability and the experience that you get from top to bottom. I love One UI 4.1. I love the functionality that they've added. Samsung has gone from their software being a negative when it was TouchWiz in the early days of One UI to now where it kind of got to a neutral position where you didn't love it but you didn't hate it. It wasn't detracting at all from your experience to now where I think it's a plus experience. The little bonuses that they give, the way that it's not, the Material You made some choices that not everybody loves, that Samsung One UI kind of keeps that old feeling of Android on the device, which I like. The customization, the best always on display in the business, the best displays in the business. Just a really overall nice experience. And when you pair that now with One UI being a bonus, a positive, the fact that they're getting out the updates now on a monthly basis, the fact that they're supporting the phones that much longer, as long as if you're in a position where you're not looking at a price tag, if you're in a position where you had your S21 Ultra, you had your S10 Plus or something like that, and that's just coming off your phone bill at, say, $36 a month to $40 a month, and this is what you'd be getting in that place, in that stead, where it's the same payment per month, this is a no-brainer for you. Absolutely. I mean, you could sit there with your paid-off device another year, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially you got an S10 Plus, those are still running really well. But I feel like if you're not shopping a price tag, and if you don't feel the $1,200 in a way that you would if you were just paying straight cash for a device, then this is absolutely the way you should go. If you're just making a carrier payment through AT&T or through Verizon, through T-Mobile or something like that, and it's just a continuation of what you've done for the last few years. This should be the only device that you look at if you're in that category and you're spending $35 to $40 a month for your phone payment. And even if you're looking for a flagship Android, and you wouldn't be really coming from an iPhone 13 because that is a different I don't really like comparing the two because I think that's a different category to me. iPhone 13 and these, I understand they're both at the flagship, but I really try to avoid comparing Android and iPhone. But if you're looking at any other flagship device and you're used to having that Samsung experience or the Samsung flagship devices, not a lot of competition at that level. Number one, you want to call Pixel, and some OnePlus you want to throw in there as well. But I think on that level, if you're willing and able and comfortable spending that amount of money for your phone, this is the one you should have in your pocket regardless of the issues with battery life. Because you're still going to be getting over 5 hours of screen on time, but the experience that you get with that 5 hours of screen on time, I think is head and shoulders above what a OnePlus 10 and what a Pixel 6 Pro offers you. So I was starting to get a little concerned, and I didn't want to come off as not having this be the recommendation of Steve Alicia's Tech. I didn't want it to be where it was just a negative pile-on fest, because I started to see the negative comments, and they deserve criticism, especially constructive criticism. We pay all the money for this device. We want to get all of the features and to be able to use them. And these devices should have better battery life, especially on the Android side. They are suffering for the past few years with battery life when it comes to the newer versions of Android. All of them. There's not a single one of them that's really knocking it out of the park. The Pixel 6 gets close, but they had to power down a little bit. Tensor isn't as powerful as the Snapdragon in here. And even then, they're still struggling a little bit with that. So this is the recommendation, absolutely, again. The S22 Ultra, in my mind, is the best Android on the market. They charge the most amount of money, so you should be getting the most amount of performance. And in my mind, that's what you get with this device. So if you can overlook the battery concerns, if you can overlook some of the hiccups that come with that, having to charge the device, bring a battery pack, or perhaps you're just fine with it, then this absolutely should be the Android in your pocket as one of those jack-of-all-trades devices that you don't have to worry about a foldable, you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to worry about anything like that. You can take this everywhere, no problem, S Pen, all the rest of it that you know with this device, top-of-the-line performance, top-of-the-line screen, top-of-the-line build, absolutely should be the Android in your pocket. It's the one that my sim is always excited to go back into, the sim itself. LongIslandWatch.com. Check it out in the description. Fun new designs for summer. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve Alicia's day.